Hello, it's Tina from the Temple. About to do second lesson of learning Beginner's Tarot. And we're talking about Major Arcana today. So this is going to be lasting an hour long. Ooh, my eyes are getting funny, but never mind. So hopefully if you've watched the first video, you will have practiced all your top 40. And today we're going to do the Major Arcana. There are 22 cards of them. And the Major Arcana are, I think I said last time, big things that happen universally. We have no control over, really. I mean, we always have free will, but they are going to enter your life no matter what you've been doing when they come up. It's quite interesting to see them in a reading. If you have lots of them, you think, shit, big stuff is happening to this person. And sometimes you get readings with none of them and you think, oh, their life is still going on, but, you know, this is big stuff. So we will start. So I will start with a number 0. So they go from 0, Roman numerals again, to 21, because there's 22 of them. So 0 is the first one in effect. And 0 is the beginning of the journey, and it's called the Fool. Now, I think in olden times, the Fool was seen as a person to take a risk and to entertain other people, and almost wise in that knowledge of, you know, taking a risk. And not many people do that. They are worried all the time. So this indicates that. So he's a little man just about to jump off the edge of a cliff. If you remember, the way I teach is to try and look at the visuals and remember those things that happen. So he's just about to step off the edge of a cliff with gay abandon. Not gay as in a gay sense, but in a happy sense. And some people would say that's a fool, and some people would say that's a wise thing. So yeah, take a risk. Take a risk. Okay. Number 2. Oh, sorry, go back to that. It's quite a childish energy of being a fool and taking a risk. We have no worries, no fears. So it's a nice energy to have when this card comes up too, I do believe. Depending on the cards around it, obviously. Now, for the first one, we have the Magician card. And the Magician card means you can do absolutely everything because you're a magician. He has the 4 elements here on the table. Well, he has the wand, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle. So he is in control of everything. And he has magic to do it. And I'll talk about tarot life path number, because this is my life path number. And it's an easy way to do. So my birthday is 15th of the 10th, 65. And it's, I was born, oh, it doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm doing astrology then. So when you add those digits up, you know, 15101965, they add up to 10, I think they do. 10 or a 1. 10. So when you get to 10, you add the 1 and then all together, that adds a 1. That's right. So I just did the number of my friend, and she came up to a 2, which is the High Priestess. So when you add them up, you will be a tarot card, and that would be your life. You know, it's how you are destined in life. I'm destined as a magician and a fool. If you have 10 as a final digit, you're, like I said, you're either a 1 or an 0, because nothing adds up to an 0. So you take on the identities of the fool, the risk, and the magician, which means you can do everything, and you're quite big thinker and you take risks. That's me. So I'm just saying out there, it's an interesting thing to do, to work out your tarot life member, and you'll see who you are. It will make sense when you add them. Right, yes, magician can do anything. So if it comes in the middle of a reading where you're stuck in life, or you've got a problem that's coming up, it's just really saying, don't worry, you'll get through it. You can do anything. Okay. Card number 2 is the High Priestess. Now, this is, in ancient days, the high priestess was someone that we went to seek advice, like tarot reading, or to have healing, or to have, your fortune predicted for you, to go and have your dream analysed, everything like that. And we still have priestesses today. Again, I'm trained as a high priestess in Glastonbury, and there's many of us that are priestesses from previous lives. And this means either go within and seek that high priestess within yourself if you know you are one, if you are a reader or a spiritual person or a teacher, counsellor, something like that, seek that inner guidance, or go and seek someone who's wiser in this stuff. Go and seek a high priestess, okay? Or tune in to your inner priestess. Okay, then we have number 3. And 3 is the Empress. And this one can indicate, so if we look at the picture, she's got corn all around her, or wheat, whatever it is, which is a sign of abundance in ancient, not in ancient times, it's still a sign of abundance. She's just sitting there in nature. So she's a natural earth mother. So sometimes it can mean natural, just a natural being a woman. But it really means abundance. And I remember now, I was going to do these tarot cards in 1 or 2 words. So the Fool is take a risk. The Magician is you've got everything you can do to solve whatever problem it is. High Priestess is seek advice or go within for that advice. And the Empress is abundance. Abundance is on its way to you. It can come in forms of babies, can come forms of money. It just means abundance is around you. Maybe you need to look at that abundance rather than not see it for what it is. Okay. 4. We have the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is a very masculine, the boss figure. Yeah. It's almost opposite the Empress, where she has everything in power as a woman, a natural mother, a natural nurturer, abundance just naturally coming to her. The Emperor has it in a masculine way. She's very feminine. This is a very masculine energy. So he's the leader. He's the boss. He rules. So if this comes up to you, it would be either it's something to do with your boss, or it's taking ownership of your masculine side of energy. Sometimes it's, maybe in a partnership, it might be husbands, or taking control of your own destiny, being the boss for yourself. So it's, I would say it's, leadership. Let's go with one word, leadership, ruling. Okay, we've got 5. Now, 5 is the Hierophant. This one always confuses people because they don't know the word. And the Hierophant is... if you see here, he's the Pope, and in the Italian decks of cards where tarot was first created, they call it La Papa, which it means the Pope. So it means something very traditional, or sometimes very religious. But what and traditional, as in sometimes it can refer to army people, navy people, but what it is for me is very much about a core belief of who you are, what's ingrained in you that, suits you. So this is my core belief of, I would say I'm ambassador for spirit. Well, I've been told I'm ambassador for spirit. I'm here to speak for spirit, help people heal through spirit, and pass on messages teach spiritual things. So that my Hierophant is, who are you? Am I? I'm an ambassador for spirit. So you might be a Hierophant, might be a chef, or a teacher. That might be you, who you are and what you're here for. So it's your core values. Okay. Then we have the Lovers card. Now, quite often, obviously, it means the lovers. It means, if it comes out with the soulmate card, number 2 of cups, then it is definitely romantically attached, or, that sort of, he's the perfect for me because he's the perfect lover or woman or whatever. But quite often it means crossroads. Choices. Sorry. So Adam and Eve, who are the people represented in the card, had to make a choice, didn't they? And they chose whatever they chose, and they chose their apple, and the snake came. So they have choices, and when this card comes up, depending on, again, the cards around it, just see what comes up. Whether it's about choices, sometimes it's choices within the relationship, because the lovers really indicates having an affair, and that can mean that sometimes when it comes up, you'll know if it comes up if you're having an affair. And the same, we talk about the devil card comes up, because that quite often indicates an affair as well, or addiction in a not good version. So see what it comes up with, whether you know it's romantic love or whether it's a choice that you've got to make. Okay. Then we have the Chariot. And if you see here, this is a chariot with the two, are they sphinxes? Can't remember what they are. They're sphinxes on the front. And this person, if you remember, if you drive fast in a chariot, you go very fast with determination. You have to have such control to, I've not driven a chariot, but I've ridden a camel. And that was quite tough. And you have to have control, otherwise they go, or a horse, they go all over the place. So determination, grit, moving forward very fast. That's the Chariot card. I've had it actually come up for readings about cars as well. So if I had it for a friend that was saying what job should he do, and this came, he was really into Formula One and cars, and he had two cars come up, one with working with children, the childhood card, and this card, and he had, he knew that he wanted to do this because of the money, and he's good at it, but the other one is where his heart lies, the children, and now he kind of has got a good life and is working 6 months a year on one and 6 months a year on the other, so it's a very good life. So that Chariot card with the childhood card really showed him his career. Okay, then we have the Strength card. This is all about inner strength. It comes up in a time when you need to know you've got the strength inside to cope with decisions and what's going on. But also for me, it's a very spiritual card. It's about having spiritual strength. He's tickling the lion, or he's having faith, spiritual faith, because he has faith to put his hand in the lion's mouth. And that having faith is a strength, isn't it? Because then we're connected and we know that we'll be all right. So it's kind of, just having inner strength and inner belief really as well. Okay. Oh, and I should say, you have these infinity symbols in quite a few of the cards, which just, life goes round, life's a circle, everything is always good. No matter where you are in life, it's always a circle. That's interesting. I may have said it in the last one. Life is just one long eternity symbol maybe. So we should never say, it's too late to do anything. Because in this lifetime, it might be getting the end of this lifetime, wherever you are at. But we start the next lifetime with this lessons. So don't think if you're 90 and think, I can't learn tarot now. Yes, you can, because it will really come in useful for the next life that you have. So, we are infinite in our learning. Right. The Hermit card, number 9. The Hermit card is about going within. If you see here, the man with his light, he's looking for answers within the light. And so and he's alone. And when we go within, this meditate card, take yourself away from the pace of life, get away from people and just tune into yourself, either by journaling, meditating, just sitting there peacefully alone. we get the answers. So really go within. And just before COVID hit, I was doing readings and this just kept coming up all the time. And because we didn't know about COVID then, I don't know why they're saying that, you're going within soon. You're going to be isolating soon. And then obviously it was clear as day when COVID came. Right, number 10. The Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is good luck card. In Italian, it's La Fortuna. So it's good luck. And I always think of this card as the American game show, the Wheel of, what's it called? The one where they spin the wheel. I can't remember. Spin the wheel, and you think of that wheel, and pretty much you've got 1 naught session on that wheel, and the rest of it is always got, from ranging from £5, say in the English version, to, £100 or whatever you're going to earn. You're always going to get something out of something. It's very rare that you're going to get naught. And the Wheel of Fortune is saying fortune is coming to you. Don't know what size it is, but it is going to come to you. So it's a really good luck, good fortune card. Nice card when that comes up. Okay, and then we have the Justice card. And the Justice can be law courts. So, involving law courts. I kind of get, when it comes, it's either that karmic justice will be done. So if you're going through a really bad time, and you know that you deserve the good results, it kind of says you're going to get the good results. If you know that you've done wrong, then it's kind of saying justice will be served. That's what I'd like to say. Justice will be served no matter whether, what you think about it. But it does say that a lot of karmic stuff is being cleared at that time. I've had it a lot when people are waiting for results from courts, from, medical situations. You've just been in for a scan and you're waiting for the answers. Libra, the scales are all about justice as well. So it's finding that balance in life. But I would say justice will be done in a good way. In a good way. Okay. The Hangman. Everyone always looks at this and they're always scared, but because he looks like he is being hung, isn't he? But if you see, when you're hanging, you're waiting, and when you're waiting, you have to learn to be patient. And when you learn to be patient, everything comes to you. You see things from a different perspective. So I love this card, because I have to wait. Now, most people hate waiting for anything. I've learnt in India, people wait. I've travelled to India a lot, and they wait. They just wait for the rain. They wait for the sun to go down. They just chill and wait. And they've infinite knowledge in that waiting, because everything comes to you when you wait. And you see here, he's got the light bulb around his head of, that everything comes to him when he waits. His crown chakras are lit with the ideas. And when you're upside down, you're seeing a whole different perspective on life. So it's kind of different perspective and waiting. Then we have Death. Number 13, the card is 13. And again, this is one of those cards that everyone goes, oh no, oh my God, I got the Death card. But it means new beginnings, because like in cycles of life, we have to go through death before we can start again. And so it's a big card when it comes out, because people are frightened of it. But I just go, if you're going to do reading for other people, just say, oh, new beginnings, exciting. The Death card has come in. That's my way of dealing with it. Once I had a man who said, am I going to die? Am I going to die? And I did cards and this card came up. I was like, oh, God. But I said, why do you think you're going to die? And he said, because my friend has just been diagnosed with the same illness as that I've been. And then he died, And I did some more cards around it. And it was just basically saying, it's your chance to start again. You know, he was eating a fried breakfast every day. So I said, if you change your, you know, way, then, you know, it's saying new beginnings. And I saw him a year later, and he'd stopped eating his full fried breakfast, and he looked thinner, and he said, I'm still alive. Like, yes, new beginnings, excellent. Okay. This is the Temperance card. This is about balance and patience. So if you see they're pouring water from one cup to the other, his foot is in water. If you see that a lot in the tarot cards, which means there's a balance there, emotional stability, one foot on the land, one foot on the water. And it's about, again, I was talking about patience with the Hangman. It's about waiting. It's about calm. It's about patience, about finding a balance. It's very calming card. It's a nice, gentle card. I feel the energy of it. Yeah. Nice. Okay. And I'm looking, and I think this is that the sun just rising in the background. So it's just like, yeah, everything's calming. Okay, the Devil, which everyone hates his card as well. There's some cards that really black in the Rider-Waite deck, and you know they look bad, but really, yeah, I suppose they are, but they're not, because from darkness we always find light. So the Devil card, this is again forwarding on from the Lovers card. These are trapped, you know, you can see the chains between Adam and Eve, and the big devil sitting, temptation. So quite often this card means addictions and breaking free. I always say it's about cutting through those chains. You might have addictions too: money, food, sex, love affairs, smoking, drinking, all of those things. And it's time to cut through those chains and get rid of those and clear. And sometimes that happens naturally. If this card comes up, it's like, oh, you're cutting through those chains now. Or sometimes, okay, you need to cut through those chains. You need to step up and tackle these issues that you may have. Okay. Oh, and also, yes, adultery, which is an addiction of some kind. So if this card comes up quite often, I'll just say, oh, no, you with anybody? Just to check what the situation is. But the other cards will probably show you that anyway. Okay, then we have the Tower. And the Tower card is chaos. And if you see here, it's a big... I was just talking about this card to my friend, who she said she hates this card. If there's a tarot card that you really don't like, stick it there. Look at it. Really tune into it. Learn to love it. Because I was saying... this card, she was going, I hate this card, it's so scary. And I was like, no, if you look, one person is coming out with their head facing you. One is really prepared. You can see they're prepared. One isn't prepared. So if you have, this card represents, jobs being lost, redundancy, accidents, car accidents, relationships breaking up, anything that would seemingly seem really bad in life. It's how you prepare yourself. And one person is prepared and one person isn't. So you may see it as chaos, or you may see it as a new beginning, or a tower crumbling, ready to be rebuilt again. So I always see it as a good card, and my friend was seeing it as a bad card. And so I said, just see it as you have to go through these major, big, horrible things, enable for you to grow. And it's a good card. Yes, in human world, you might go, well, at the time, but it indicates that, you're moving on and the next thing will be better than what you were doing. Sometimes it comes when you know you should have moved on from something, but you haven't. Maybe you got that Devil card and you still stuck in a bad relationship, or you still stuck with a job that you didn't like. And then the Tower card comes on, goes, okay, enough is enough. You need to move on now. It's not doing you any good. And you're not doing anything about it, so we'll give you chaos. That's the universe. Okay, the star card. So this is about self-belief and being a star. Now, I believe we're all born stars, which is like we're born with none of the pressures on this world on us. We come out from heaven, we kind of go, oh, right, I'm all fresh. I'm healed from the last life. I'm going to come into this life and, you know, with my agenda, with the people around me. And then as soon as we hit human life, shit hits the fan and we start losing our self-belief. Unless, well, there's lots of different conversations about narcissism now. And they've had the shit childhood, but then they built up a sense of own self-belief. But this, because to make them feel good. But this isn't that. This is who you are as a believing in yourself in a good way, normally to help many others. It's that in the solar plexus here, that personal willpower. You know, so we have everything hit on us, our parents, you know, their beliefs, childhood, our peers, our teachers, probably in England particularly, telling us, you know, putting us down, putting us in little slots, ruling us. So we get married or whatever happens, relationships, and we're in jobs that we don't like maybe. And all of this stuff is kind of knocking on our self-esteem. And this card is about remember who you are and find that star in you. Shine that star off that was born all shite and briny and then's covered in black, horrible stuff. Shine it off and be the star that you are. And if it comes up in the cards, it means you need to have some self-belief in yourself. Self-belief in yourself, that's wrong. Or you are coming into a powerful presence of self-belief, which in a good way. That's lovely. Love that card. Okay. Yes. Shiny star. Shiny star. That's who you are. Right. Followed by the moon. We're having a little astrology thing. We've got the star, then we have the moon, then we have the sun. And the moon is, I find, the most difficult card, but I'm not putting that into your heads. I'm just saying it's why. It's because it can mean quite a few things. One, it's a very feminine card energy-wise, because the moon is feminine energy. Moon is mysterious. It you know, we know from the tides that when the moon is and schools. So first we have the moon pulls those tides out, does it? And then it brings the water back. It has that effect on gravity. So therefore, as we're 80-90% water, it's doing the same thing to us every single time. Then we have full moon and new moon, which is when it's at its full power of when we need to let go of things, and then when it's charging up. So we know that in schools, for example, when they know it's a full moon, all the children go nutty because the moon has that power. So that's one thing. Lots of mysterious power. We don't know what's going on. Lots of surprises. But then also we have the feminine energy. It's saying go with the flow a lot, which the moon does. It just sits there and lets everything evolve, really. If we could do that, life would be a lot easier. So there's mystery, there's feminine flow. Some people say it's a deceitful card. There's deceit to it. I've never really got that, but I know people believe in it. And so it's interesting what you pick up on these cards for yourself, whichever way you're taught, whatever way you feel. For the moon, for me, the moon is like a lifeline for me, that energy of going with the flow and letting things happen. And I know a lot of people feel that same way about the moon. And then there'll be other people that don't even recognise the moon's power. You know, they're very earthy people. So see what you think about the moon. Tune into her. You can just sit there with a candle behind her and just really tune in and see what comes up with the moon. Then we have the sun. Now, they say the sun is I say they, a lot of people say the sun is the most positive card in the whole of the deck, not just the major arcana, because it means positivity. So I know, again, living half-time my life in India, that the sun has an enormous effect on our self-esteem, our happiness, our freedom, our energy, our health, everything. And so when you get the sun card, it just means positivity. You've got a little baby there sitting on a white horse. White horse is a good sign, a good fortune sign, and strength. And sometimes this can mean babies as well as the Empress. That can mean babies coming. But generally, if you get this card in the whole of the deck, then it normally means everything will be fine. Especially if you get lots of negative cards, everything will be fine. Sun is a good card, best card. Okay, then we have the Judgment card. So this is Angel Gabriel calling all it looks like zombies coming out their graves. So for me, this is about spiritual enlightenment, or being spiritually enlightened. Archangel comes and he says, rise, rise. So if you're not a spiritual person, then why would you be learning tarot? So you probably are. It's about stepping up, ascending to the next level of spirituality, and being called to rise up. So maybe you're getting this card a lot now because you're like, okay, I need to learn tarot. That would be I need to connect with my spirit guides. Okay, I'll talk about that. Right, okay. So I think I said in the last video that a lot of people are wary of tarot because it was seen as an underground thing back in the Gothic times. And if you watch Jane Eyre and certain programs where we're doing tarot and it's very secret. So it has a mysticism, it has a fear to them, particularly these cards, the devil card, that looks a bit scary. But if you can just say that it's the universe, God, whoever you believes in, the hand that's helping you, is guiding these cards to you, then for me, it's not scary. They are just cards to tune into, to help me in every walk of life, every little day. What should I do? Should I do that? Should I do that? Pull a card on it. Some of these cards are very yes and no, and you will know by the energy of them. So say, I would say an Emperor card is a definite yes, like leadership. The Empress card is a definite yes, full of love, go with it. The Hermit card, I would say, was a no, go within. You have to think about this. And say with the Hanging Man. I'm just going with these major arcana here. The Sun would be a yes card. The Magician would be a yes card. The Moon would be a no card. So and think about it card. So you can use like some of these cards just for one answers of a yes and no, which is a really handy thing to do. Okay. Oh, look, 33. 33 is a good number. Angel card meaning, Google that. Right, the world. Okay, the world is your oyster. The world is, what's the other ones? There's so many phrases about the world, isn't there? I can't remember them now. The world is your oyster. The whole world is at your feet, maybe. There's another one. I can't remember, a big one. But it means basically, and it's the 21, but the end of the major arcana. It's like you can do absolutely blinking anything. A bit like the Magician card, but it often means travel as well. Like you have big plans, you can go and do them. It's time now. It's time. It's coming to full circle of what you've learned and it's ready to put them in place. So it's, but on a much bigger scale than the Three of Wands, where we're, if you watch the last video, putting plans in place. This is like big plans. Often indicates travel. Just, you can do anything. you can achieve anything. Okay, so I'm going to mix all these up. And I teach you a lovely little thing that I learned. If we mix them up, this is quite a good thing to do. You can lay all 22 down, and I'm going to shuffle them and I'll show you. And you can see with the intention. So when you're doing tarot, I haven't talked about this. When you're doing tarot, really, I used to just do it in pubs and, really bad person. But I didn't know any better. But we're doing a spiritual thing. We've got spirit guides around us, and we should really be in a good area, cleansed area to do a tarot reading. So I normally light a candle, but I can't find a match. I'm in my friend's house to bring in light, but I have asked and prayed already. I have asked for protection around me so I won't get any negative spirit guides coming in. I have grounded myself, even though it may not seem it. So I am connected with the earth, so I won't go off on one, which is I tend to. So I'm preparing myself in a space for tarot. And I used to, like I said, I once did them in, I'll get the cards out. But really, we shouldn't do that because we don't know what sort of energy is going on around us. We should respect the gift of tarot because it's a form of talking to spirit guides and working with them. And we should respect that. Okay, so where I was with the major tarot, this is a fun thing to do. I wouldn't do it for a customer, but it's a fun thing to see where your life has started and where it's going. And you can, so I just pull out one card first, Wheel of Fortune. So I'm saying, right, at the start of my birth, this is a good thing to do. It was potluck what's going to happen. It was spinning. It was always going to end up good. And I have luck on my side. And if I look at my astrology in my luck house, it's a good sign. So I was born with luck on my side. The star card comes up. I was always a star. Then had the tower. And then I had the tower. Then I had chaos happen to me, which I would say is, I'm not saying it against my upbringing, but it's everything that happens to you as a sensitive, spiritual being with the born as a star, and then to have things happen to you, trying to push you into a corner of not being that person. So the rules in England, the patterns of belief in the 1960s. Yes, I am that old. Any restraints, any control, any childhood issues, lack of self-belief completely comes in. Then dodgy husbands, etc. Chaos happened. But let's just talk. I got 22 to go through. I'm going to say that is chaos happened to me. Then I have temperance. So this is the balance and the patience. And I don't know even when that came in, but it's interesting to think about that. When did that come in? I would say not till I left home. Let's see what comes up next. Justice. So this is... okay. So this is after marriage, I would say. I needed that karmic balance. I needed that karmic sorting out of marriages to understand who I am now. And then I found my faith. This is 2010. So it's interesting when you do this. Sometimes it'll all be about your childhood. Sometimes it will be later in life. This is, they've bypassed my childhood quite a lot. And they're saying, okay, then you had strength. From 2010, first divorce. Then I started to find my faith because I did a Louise Hay course and found out about inner child work and started to heal. And And then I took a risk because I was brave. I learned who I was. I'm a magician. I started doing Reiki. It was a long process, but I've started to look at life in a different way. Then I did my priestess healer training in Glastonbury, and I realised I was always a high priestess. That moved me very quickly into learning about tarot and opening up a healing centre. And that was the healing centre, and was a whole new beginning for me. A transforming time that was. I went into a shop in Glastonbury, and I went into the in Glastonbury, where I'm from. They have a lovely temple there, and the goddess of the temple said, you need to go and run your own healing centre. And I opened a healing centre, then COVID closed it down. But this is my life ambition, to have a healing foundation centre, probably in India and maybe a few around the world as well. So that was new beginning that time. And then they're saying, and this is your world's mission. This is what you're going to do. You're going to travel and you're going to do this. And this is the very feminine energy of all of that. And I've written a book which is waiting to be published. So it's very feminine, mysterious energy. Oh, okay. I'm listening to them as well. And this is the dream work. So when I was doing all of this, I learnt about dream interpretation and how to work with dreams. And this is a very much, you see, you got the lobster like Salvador Dali, the world of dream interpretation. So, ooh, nice. And then I was spiritually raised, I ascended a level. Nice. This is quite funny when I do it, and this is a really good thing to do. You can, really interpret them if you know them and practice them. So then I met my second husband, which was letting go. I needed to let go of the devil. I had choices. I had choices to stay with him or not. But it was too much for me. I took the right path, didn't I? Lots of sunshine, positivity. This is when I went to India. Okay, it changed my life again. And lots of meditation, lots of going within, lots of working out spirituality over there, because everyone is a spiritual being over there. Going to end on, oh, this is so good. And then this is the Empress. I become there who I am, as a happy, positive, wonderful light being. I step into my power when I'm in India. And then this time when coming back, this is the third time I've come back from India, I'm keeping my power within me, because in England tends to pull it down. India, with all the light and the sunshine and the spiritual people all around you, I recommend it to anyone spiritual. Go there, because suddenly you understand where this stuff comes from. I know you feel it in other countries too, but for me, it's definitely India. She is who I am. And then I've matched that feminine energy with my leadership. So, something I'm doing YouTube, and I stepping into that role as a leader, not needing anybody else to tell me what to do. Finishing on the Hierophant, which is the core belief of who I am. And that is a ambassador for spirit, someone who teaches, heals, and passes on messages. So there you go. Isn't that a lovely way to deal with the 22 major arcana? But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mix it in with the rest of the pack. If I get the kings and queens and pages, I will just move them around for a bit. So just let's have a little mini reading for the day, for the next quarter of an hour. Ooh, okay. Okay. Just going to talk about the Celtic cross. So the Celtic cross is one of the oldest traditions of readings in tarot. And what you do is, I'm just going to try, my shuffling is not that great. I watch people on YouTube and go, God, they're so good at shuffling. Like I said before, if one flips out like that, that would be the poor thing to do. So you pick, I'll start again. Think of an issue that you've always wanted to solve. So maybe it's, issues with money, issues with relationships. Let me think. I think one for the collective. Okay, connecting with spirit. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Please give us the right cards. Thank you, Spirit, for connecting with Spirit. So you do the first card, and that's the middle of, we're doing a cross. Connecting with Spirit. We've got the Queen of Wands. I haven't done the Queens yet, but this is about positivity and staying positive. So it's hope, they're saying as well. So it's a faith. You have to... the core of connecting with spirit is that positive belief, I would say, and hope. And where it goes wrong, so we're kind of looking at the past of that situation for the collective. Time. Temperance is time as well, isn't it? It's about balance and patience. And we're talking about the thousands of years that we've been in a patriarchal society. So over time, we've lost it, haven't we? In olden days, we used to believe in spirituality, and we've lost it because of all religions and land and everything. But it's coming back, as we'll see in the future. So what we've done is I've put one card here, one card on the left of it, for the past of the situation, one card for the future. So I'm going to do that. Lovely. Finding a balance. We are finding a balance. We're finding this masculine, feminine balance in the future, which is good. And then we've got actual beliefs on this earth at the moment. Right, too many came out. I'm just going to go with this. King of Pentacles. So I'm going to put, this is about, we're all about the money. We're all about the money. Again, I haven't done Kings yet, but this is all about the money for where we are going. Our kind of conscious beliefs on the planet about the situation of spirituality is that it's worlds away from where it should be. And then if I do too many, I say too many because about 10 came out, and I know some people go, yeah, but I'm only doing, they really want to show us that. Okay. I'm trying to do one. Thank you. Okay. And where we're going in the subconscious, so our subconscious is saying we need change. This is something coming out the blue, and it's full of love. So our subconscious on the planet is saying we need change. Our conscious about spirituality is saying it's all about the money at the moment. That's why it is changing. That's what's going to change. We need to love one another in communities. Okay, so we've got the situation in the middle, we got the past, we got the future, we got our subconscious beliefs, we got our conscious beliefs. And then what I tend to do is, which I've been taught, is we have this cross. I can't, let me see if I can do it on the camera. We got this cross.